your FCTV morning announcements.
Hello, I'm Delaney Mills with today's Daily Almanac. Today is February 17th, and 214 years ago, the House of Representatives broke an electoral tie between Thomas Jefferson and Aaron Burr. Jefferson was elected president, and his inaugural address was the first speech he had ever delivered in public. That's all the time we have for February 17th for FCTV's Daily Almanac. I'm Delaney Mills. Tune in tomorrow for another look into history.
And now for a look at the community, the nation, and the world, we go to Megan Gamir with the news. Megan?
Thanks, Andy. Donald Trump tells the Washington Post, looking ahead to 2016, he is more serious than ever about pursuing a presidential run. The 68-year-old real estate mogul tells the Post that in recent days he's hired staffers in many key primary states and retained an election attorney. He also delayed signing on for another season of his reality TV show, The Celebrity Apprentice, because of his political projects. He said he's not considering a bid for fun. He's doing it because he believes the nation is in serious trouble. Trump briefly considered running in the 2012 campaign, but decided against it. The Washington Post reports Trump has contemplated running for president for nearly 3 decades, going back to the 1988 Republican primaries.
That's all for today's news. Now we go to Matt Warner in the FCTV Weather Center. Matt?
Thank you, Nicole, and good morning, Fox Chapel. I'm Matt Warner with today's weather. This morning was pretty chilly, around 28 degrees. It was a little warmer than last night, though, but those strong winds that we've been seeing over the last couple of days continuing, it made it feel a little bit colder, around 20 degrees. Today we have a high of 38 degrees. We'll be seeing this warm front come through. The warm front hitting the cold front that I just hit is what has been causing these really strong winds. Likely we'll start to see those die down into the evening with just this 9-mile-per-hour wind continuing. Tomorrow we have these rising temperatures around 38 and 34 with mostly cloudy skies, and again a light wind, but nothing like we've seen over the last couple of days. We can see as we move throughout the weekend that we'll be seeing some mostly cloudy skies. We won't be seeing much precipitation, but there is a 30% chance of rain on Tuesday, and that's all for the weather.
Thanks, Matt. That's all the time we have.
Hello and welcome to Under the Red and White, Fox Chapel's very own student-produced magazine show. I'm Sam Morrison.
And I'm Andy Lewis. All of our stories today are from CNN News Source, of which FCTV is a proud affiliate. So, Sam, when was the last time you went on a field trip?
I'm not sure, probably freshman or sophomore year. Why do you ask?
When a 5th grade class in Oregon went on a field trip, one of the students says he got left behind, and Jamie Wilson reports the boy's mother wants the charter school held accountable.
I was just scared a little bit because I didn't know what to do.
11-year-old Dominic Blades remembers it well, the moment he realized he was all alone. On Friday, Dominic and his classmates walked a half-mile from school to Rockwood Central Park for their quarterly field day. After the events, Dominic says he asked his teacher if he could go to the bathroom, and she said yes.
And so I went to the bathroom, and when I came out, nobody was there. And so I had to figure out which way to go.
There wasn't a teacher or student in sight. So Dominic knocked on a man's door asking for directions, but panic was setting in.
What if somebody got me? What if somebody took me? What would happen if I got lost again?
Dominic says he was lost for almost 30 minutes.
Then I finally found my way back. And when I got there, they didn't even notice I was gone.
Her email pretty much was saying that he was telling lies.
Dominic's mother is angry. Amy says the staff wouldn't let Dominic call her until after school, and when his teacher emailed her, she claimed Dominic's story was made up. No one from Nova was available to go on camera today, but in a written statement, the principal says that a student did walk back from the park alone and, quote, "We are revisiting our procedures and systems for walking field trips and have put a hold on future outings by our students until a new plan is created." Safety is our top priority, and we will continue to ensure all processes and procedures are followed. Amy is relieved to hear that, but she says it's too late for her and for Dominic.
I can't have my kids here because me letting them stay would be like, oh, it's okay, you lost my child. And that's not the message that I want to get across to my kids, that they're not important enough to be accounted for.
Hello and welcome to FC at the Movies, Fox Chapel's place for movie news, reviews, and previews. I'm your host, Sam Morrison. This is our first show for 2015, and January is always a really slow month for movies. Awards season deadlines are in December, so movie distributors always rush to get their releases in before the holiday season. However, 2015 looks like the year of the remake to me, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. Coming up in our show, Mad Max, Fury Road, Fantastic Four, and Jurassic World. First in the show, Mad Max Fury Road. I'm a Mad Max fan, and to be perfectly honest, I'm excited for this one. Mad Max is an apocalyptic story set in the Australian outback after a deadly world event. Nearly everyone is crazy and fighting for the bare essentials of life, such as food and water. However, the most desperate and frequent fights occur over the lifeblood of civilization itself, oil. The classic modified road cars with big wheels and lots of spikes and skulls are making a return, but Mel Gibson is hanging up the leather jacket and goggles. Tom Hardy is taking up the role of Max Rokitansky. Also featured prominently are Charlize Theron, Nicholas Hoult, and Zoe Kravitz. Let's take a look at the trailer.
My world is fire and blood.
Everything is dependent on oil.
We are killing for gasoline.
The world is almost out of water. Water.
Now there's the water wars. Here they come again. Everybody's gone out of their mind. You're not the only one, Max.
Out here, everything hurts. You want to get through this? Do as I say. Now pick up what you can and run.
Oh, what a day! What a lovely day!
Feeling left out is never a good thing. You don't want to be the only one left out on Monday. Especially when such an important event is coming up. Be a part of the homecoming football game, or you'll miss the biggest game of the season. Don't miss the homecoming football game against Canon McMillan, September 26th from 7 to 9. Tickets are only $5. See you there.
Okay.
Hey!
Originally, the Ice Bucket Challenge was created to raise money and awareness for amyotrophic lateral sclerosis, commonly known as Lou Gehrig's disease. This challenge is now spreading through Fox Chapel staff to raise money for the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, which will be donated during this year's annual telethon. So far, the teachers that have participated are Mr. Gaudini, Mrs. Progar, and Mr. Messiano. The three of them have each added their own twist to the challenge. Mr. Messiano's classes alone raised over $400. This challenge is sure to continue through December, so keep your eyes open for the next challengers. For FCTV, I'm Kat Murray.
Wednesday, during all lunches, students flocked to room 168, where thanks to community outreach, Animal Friends had brought in 5 therapy dogs to help relieve student stress after a long week of finals and Keystone testing. Animal Friends is a locally operated nonprofit companion animal resource center. While it's commonly known as a pet adoption shelter, they also offer low-cost neutering services, low-cost pet vaccines, therapist services, and animal behavior training. It was through Animal Friends therapy training that these 5 dogs received their certifications. The dogs included Aldo, a Labradoodle, Lucy, a mini Labradoodle mix, Chaos, a German wire-haired Pointer mix, Seamus, a soft-coated Wheaton, and Lucky, a Jack Russell Terrier mix. While all eyes were on the cute canines, Animal Friends took the opportunity to hand out an array of information about upcoming events and monthly activities. Many students were extremely interested in any volunteering opportunities at Animal Friends. Any students looking to volunteer can apply online at www.thinkingoutsidethecage.org. Animal Friends is also hosting a supply drive for animals and pets in need. Students can bring in dog and cat food, toys, old blankets and towels, treats, litter, and even jars of peanut butter. The drive will end next Friday, January 23rd. For FCTV, I'm Victoria Souza.
Now, from Fox Chapel Area High School, we have Michael Bonavita with the news break.
Good morning, Fox Chapel. I'm Michael Bonavita, coming to you from the FCTV studio with a news break. Thank you for joining us this morning as we all begin to come to terms with the horrible events that occurred at our school yesterday afternoon. A head-on collision in front of our school yesterday still has many of us in shock as we think and wonder about what has happened to our classmates who are involved. Yesterday is not a day that we will soon forget here at Fox Chapel. To begin today's coverage of this horrific event, let's go to Addis Eucla with an explanation about how this accident took place. Addis?
Thanks, Michael. Yesterday at about 12:45 p.m. when a very violent accident happened in front of the high school. It all started when senior Dante Cordero was driving from the left side of the school at a very high rate of speed approaching the front office area. After that, we had another car that was containing 4 other high school students approaching it from the right side. As they were entering the front of the school, they were unaware of the approaching speeding car, and the 2 violently collided right in this area here. Upon the accident, emergency responders were immediately notified and immediately came to the scene. Students were then dismissed onto the hillside where they watched as their classmates were being extracted from the cars.
Thanks, Addis. And now we go to a report of the accident from Emily Usum at the scene. Emily?
Thanks, Michael. Right here at the high school, 2 carloads of Fox Chapel students collided yesterday afternoon. Driver Dante Cordero, a senior, with fellow student Cody Gismondi in the passenger seat, hit an oncoming vehicle carrying 4 other Fox Chapel High School students. Mr. Cordero was administered and failed 3 field sobriety tests and was taken into custody by local police. Addison Lynch, a senior, was unfortunately pronounced dead by the Allegheny County coroner. Junior Ian Gillespie was life-flighted to Allegheny General Hospital Trauma Center with serious injuries. Additional passengers Cody Gismondi, Jessica Gorgas, and Anna Zeiss were rushed by an ambulance to area hospitals. Gismondi and Gorgas suffered with minor injuries, and Zeiss with a serious spinal injury. Emergency medical services, local fire departments, and several local police departments responded to this horrific accident. We are still waiting on updates from Allegheny General Hospital on the conditions of the 4 students who were transported from the scene. We will also be looking into charges Dante Cordero will face. For FCTV, I'm Emily Usum.
Thank you, Emily. We have FCTV reporters covering the area hospitals to bring us all the details on students who were injured in the accident. As we mourn the loss of senior Addison Lynch, we will go to a report from Nicole Fowler on yesterday's events at area hospitals. Nicole?
Upon their arrival at Allegheny General Hospital and Trauma Center, victims were treated immediately. Cody Gismondi, who was evaluated for head injuries, has been released from AGH and is recovering at home. Anna Zeiss, who was in the driver's seat, experienced a severe spinal injury, paralyzing her from the waist down and confining her to a wheelchair. Jessica Gorgas, who was seated in the back left behind Anna, sustained minor injuries and has been released from AGH. Once Lifelight arrived at the trauma center, Ian Gillespie was treated for major head injuries. Despite survival efforts of emergency personnel, Ian, who was seated next to Jessica, was pronounced dead at the hospital.
Thanks, Nicole. Yesterday's accident exemplified how one decision can change the rest of someone's life. Now, Mr. Cordero's life is in the hands of the court. Sarah Moltz has more on the trial and the verdict.
As EMS transported the injured victims to area hospitals and the medical examiner pronounced Addison Lynch dead on the scene, suspected drunk driver Dante Cordero was escorted by the Township Police to the Allegheny County Court of Common Pleas to be tried before Judge John Totola for his role in the accident. A somber Cordero sat motionless as the attorneys presented their cases. With a confirmed blood alcohol level of .17, Cordero was charged with homicide by vehicle while driving under the influence of alcohol. Judge Sotola found Cordero guilty and sentenced him to 3 to 6 years in a penitentiary facility with 2 years of parole after the sentence.
Thank you, Sarah. Yesterday, 2 of our fellow classmates lost their lives, and for another 3, life will never be the same after a catastrophe that will stay etched in the minds of students at Fox Chapel for years to come. One decision can change everything. For FCTV, I'm Michael Bonavita.